up, bitches? Yeah, I know. I've been sleepy. Gone a little bit. I needed a week off. I didn't even upload that bonus I did. My bad. I might put it out. It's not that it was bad, it's just... I don't know. I needed a week off. Sometimes you need a break. And speaking of breaks, today, we got some people who have been on a little bit of a hiatus themselves. We should hibernate, you know, it's that time of the year. I'm very honored that the first couple of guests I'm bringing on for this string of exciting features for the next month, because I mean it. I don't want to toot my horn too early, but it's really going to be something fun. You're going to be surprised by these guests, and nope, I don't like to announce them in advance. You find out as the episode drops. You know, let it be a surprise, kind of a callback to a different time. You know both of these guys, they have their own shows. I won't go on and on, they'll be able to tell you and plug at the end, but both of these guys, I know them at least from a show called Sibling Revelry. It's a very funny back and forth between the two of them, where I'm pretty entertained, and they also tend to get some decent guests. You know, everybody just, we're kind of falling into the same trap where it's all an echo chamber sound, but it's nice where you can find a little bit of an underground vibe to kick it with, and yeah, I enjoy hanging out with these guys when they go live. So without yapping too much longer, please give it up for our guests for today, Doug and Paul. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I pulled a Nick Mullen, so we definitely just left out a good 10 minutes. I told Doug I was going to do this, so...
It's all good.
I told you I was going to do it, even though I remembered and talked to you about it. I was just too excited.
That's hilarious. He still, by the way, everybody listening who just heard us would go live, he still has us chained in his basement. He did drug us and bring us down here.
People didn't hear that part. They didn't know what was going on, Paul.
Now they did.
God.
The bit's dead.
He hits us.
I think it's better this way because I just keep falling into these situations, and it just takes the fucking... a little bit of the angst out of the air, so...
All right, well, let me dog walk it back. Diet Coke, your guys' thoughts. Go.
I like it from a can or McDonald's. Go.
Burger King, Whopper.
It's
Chuck
gotta
Norris
be
died.
in a bottle.
Burger King is good. It's not Chuck Norris dying good.
Chuck Norris died. Sam Keith died. Rest in peace.
I did want to say the fact that we lost Walker, Texas Ranger. That does hurt my fucking heart.
I was a huge fan.
It just, he's in so much legacy media, and I even posted on my wall. I don't think a lot of people remember that shit, but if you guys ever went on Newgrounds back in the day, there was a Flash animation that was pretty popular in the mid-2000s called
The Steven Seagal
Ultimate Showdown.
Oh.
No, that's the Steven.
Well, no, because there was a Flash animated show.
Ponytail Hour.
Yeah, there was a Flash animated show very similar to what you're talking, because I do know what you're talking about, but there was another one called The Steven Seagal Show. It's actually still on YouTube, and it was Flash animations of Steven Seagal. It's one of the funniest things. I'll send you a link after the show.
Yeah, I need that. I need that in my life. I had no idea, because I tend to know quite a bit about that subculture of back in the day, you know, a lot of that 4chanery, and there was just so much good shit out there. YTMND, I was talking about that a couple episodes ago during my solo arcs. I've literally been playing the good sauce, and sometimes I roll into that. That's like a newer segment I've been doing, because it hits a little different when the viewers can't see. They can only hear. They have to use their imagination or go source the content themselves. And I don't know. I kind of like the adventure of that. It might piss some people off, but good. This is an anti-humor show. I'm not here to fucking kiss anybody's butthole. I'm here to fucking bring some people on, have fun with them, and if it reads well for people, great. And the people that don't get it, I'm okay with that. I did say that during the pre-show a little bit, and it doesn't matter to me, man. People just gotta chill out and just have a good time. Life is too short. We just lost Chuck Norris, and that, like, to round it back out, he's in the ultimate showdown, because they're talking about like Godzilla and Batman and all these different characters are fighting each other to be the last one alive. And there's this like heavenly ballad moment. I clipped it and put it on X where he's like descending from the heavens, and fuck, he doesn't even win the fight. It was Mr. Rogers in a bloodstained sweater. He was the victor of the ultimate showdown, but you know, you couldn't even have shit that good without having your haters, because there was an anti-humor one that was spawned from it that I actually liked more, called The Gayest Showdown by Power Ranger Yellow. Shout out to that guy. I don't know if your autistic ass is still alive, but dude, you were making some funny fucking shit back in the day, and just imagine the most low effort. If you just saw that David Lynch Dumbtown or whatever it was kind of in the same vein of that, where it was just trashing on weebs and Naruto and fucking I kind of miss when there was a little more tension in the air, you know, the Tourette's guy era, just being able
Bob
to
Saget.
I'm still in that era.
It just I don't, and I'm shout out to Tourette's guy. He's still making videos. I don't know if people keep up with him, but he's still making videos. His house is littered with beer cans now. It's an unbelievable fucking arc to where he was to where he is now.
I miss Chocolate Rain.
Chocolate
rain.
Some stay high, but others feel the pain. Chocolate rain.
Rain.
Every time I move my mic away from the mouth, I'm breathing.
He can't breathe, he's trying to breathe chocolate rain.
Doug's got a
I like
soundboard,
that.
everybody.
I like that reverb. That was nice.
Just
My man
don't encourage
nice
him.
on the keys. No, I have to. I like the engineering. I come from that background. I used to produce a lot of music, so that shit's fun to me.
I agree.
White on.
But yeah, you know, all good things come to an end, and again, rest in peace to my man Chucky. But
Sam Keith.
Word.
I don't know if you guys. There's so many things that I could talk about. Like now, my brain is actually waking up a little bit. Like you guys have got me in the zone, and
Nice.
I've been trying to figure out where I want to aim the dart on the board. You know, I'm trying to decide what points I need in order to get to the next match. And sometimes it's hard picking on one, because like we've all been gone for a while. I haven't had an opportunity to talk about a couple things in the last few weeks. You know, Bert's bus burned down. You got Bam on Fish Tank, Hassan grifting in Cuba. There's a bunch of these things, and I'm like, I don't know which one is the most
What's
fun.
crazy is I have not followed any of what you just got done saying. I have literally been delivering groceries and fast food to people, that or dealing with the crazy people online. That's been my last 3 weeks.
I haven't followed any of what he said, but I know what he's talking about. I have seen it.
I know too, yeah.
And I got to be honest, like the Fish Tank, I'm over it. Like my feed has been so inundated with Fish Tank shit and bingo and bongo and all of that. And I'm tired of being compared to the fat, topless guy covered in tattoos. It really irritates the shit out of me when people
People are doing you like that.
Yeah. I've
Man,
gotten tagged a few times.
I hope these people listen to this and know how pissed off that they make you. Because I caught on to it. As little time as I spend online, when I went on, I'm like, ooh, this pisses Doug off. To the point, even though we're brothers, we don't talk that much throughout the week. Like to the point where I texted my brother about this situation, and I go, are you just as mad as I am about this? And he's like, yeah, dude, it's me. Of course I'm pissed off.
Look, I'm not
Evil motherfuckers.
it's not like sever relationships or talking points with people, but it's just like after a while, if I'm not responding to it, it's like maybe like anybody who watches her, maybe chill out, or maybe like understand that maybe it's not my lane, or maybe the fact that like I constantly talk about how much body dysmorphia issues I have on my show, and I don't like being compared to a fucking topless fat guy.
You know, that's super fair, because there's that part of me that wants to split the hair different and be like, yeah, but that's still giving you hype and buzz, even if some of it's not from the most authentic place, and maybe you don't want that or need that, and I respect that too.
Just
Wow,
makes
Andy,
you
you're a real
work out
silver lining kind of guy. I respect that.
I haven't always been this person, and it took a long time to get here, and it's just, if you don't do that, what else are you going to do? There's somebody in my life who recently, they made a good statement, and I try not to be too repetitive with shit, but I haven't quoted this one enough where I feel tired about it, because I hate that. I hate feeling tired with the shit I'm talking about. I don't want to just broken record, and that does get annoying, you know? You don't... Playing the hits might be cool for some people, but no, I like to explore and take chances, and if I fail, whatever. But this person in my life, they said, you can either live in a world of farts and hate it, or you can live in a world of farts and find some enjoyment. Either way, you're living in a world of farts.
Is she hot, the person who quoted this? It's a woman, right? I'm right on that, right?
Yes,
Not
and
wrong.
then she blew me. And then
Yeah, that's some woman shit to say. That's why I knew it was a woman. She is hot.
No,
Or do you let ugly chicks blow you?
It
it
was
wasn't
definitely
it?
yeah,
You
it
let
was
dudes
a
blow you? That's cool, man. I respect that. Not my thing, but you know, if you're into that, Indian.
It's not gay if you're receiving.
Thank you. That's right. Quoting Escape from Guantanamo Bay. Let's go. Points to Doug.
I'll take them.
I didn't realize there was
some
points.
guy call me gay. I had some guy call
Points
me
to
gay.
Gryffindor.
I had some guy call me gay on Twitter earlier this week because Tom Morello was giving this live speech about like no kings and anti-Trump and anti-ICE, and I'm like, this motherfucker makes more money than I'll ever see, and he's gotten all of his wealth off of simply making his guitar go wow, 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 wow. I'm like, he can suck my dick. And somebody on Twitter's like, what are you coming out of the closet? I'm like, it's not gay if you're receiving. If somebody's sucking my dick, that doesn't make me gay. That just makes me enjoy getting BJs, dude.
Wait, it's got to be
What
your
a
bowl.
weird thing to say, though. I just don't understand anybody even sometimes these worthless ass comments where you're at least trying to make a point. Somebody's just being a cocksucker and wants a taste of the ball sack, and that's gay to me.
That's the world we
You're
live
taking
in.
time to. It is.
We
And
live
I
in a
like
world
to-
of trolls.
I try not to let that shit bother me too much because again I've seen my fair share of battles. So when some of these people think they've concocted the greatest technique ever, and it's just something I've seen before, just because it's new to you doesn't mean I haven't seen it before or somebody else hasn't invented it before you.
Right.
You're just now realizing that that's something that's been possible and you have some affinity for it. You might not be a master of it, but you've managed to grasp it for a moment. Now, you might hold on to it, or it might fade. And it all depends on the willingness of people to, I don't know, respect themselves, humble, learn. Because there's a lot of things I still have to learn from people. I can learn from you guys. I mean, I feel very welcomed.
I wouldn't recommend that.
No, I know we like to joke and shit, but to take just a little bit of a gentle and real note, I've spent enough time hanging out with you guys, and you know, it hasn't just been a week or two. It's been a couple months now where I've gotten to kind of size you up, and we may not know each other. I may not know a lot of these folks that I've interacted with, but the generosity that's been shown to me by people who we're just strangers pretty much, but we have a good time together. And I appreciate that more than some motherfucker who's got a problem in their life that they're insecure about and need to execute in a way that serves no purpose. You guys are actually doing something by having a community, giving people a place to go where they can share some enjoyment. A lot of people want to snatch that away, or they can't get over themselves and just have a laugh or make themselves the joke, things that are funny about them. I mean, I'm a gay little bitch, so I don't mind, you know.
Not to brag on me and Doug, self-brag on us, but I think the thing that our community is the people in it. It's not us. It is the people who make up that community. And I think what we've done is we've just fostered a place on the internet where you can be authentically yourself without judgment. We really don't care. As much as we like make racial jokes, as much as we make ethnicity
Oh, it's just
jokes.
we shit.
Like, okay, so I say the N-word a lot. I'm sorry. It helps my rhymes. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is we foster a place where everybody truly is welcome. It doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, where you come from. If you want to come hang out with us and laugh, we're willing to do that. I'm not going to say we're a comedy podcast. If you want to say that, you can. But like we like the joke. We like to just have a good time, relax, and we want to talk to people. We want to learn people's story, and we don't want to learn people who just agree with us, whether that's politically, our like pop culture views, our movies, our music. We just want to talk to people and find out what drives them, what their passions are. And I think we do that really well.
I've invited a lot of people on the show over the course of doing it, and I remember there was one point like I think last year, towards the end of last year, where there was a guy who was, I forget what it was all about, but there was a dude that Paul and I were going back and forth with on Twitter, and it was political shit, and I really don't remember the specifics, but I remember saying like, hey man, come on our show. And he's like, yeah. He's like, what, so you can make money off me and grift? And I'm like, if you think we're making money off of it, like, we just want to talk. I'm willing to talk to anybody of any walk of life about anything. But you have to be the one to give it a chance.
We've literally had the drummer of Coheed and Cambria on our show because he wanted to talk to somebody. Yes, because he wanted to talk to somebody who had a different view on firearms than him to understand the pro-gun side. And I was like, sure, come on our show. I'll tell you. And when it got done, we were two human beings who politically disagree. But as human beings, we found common ground. And he walked away from it going, oh, I kind of, well, yeah, we're both big baseball fans. But you know what I mean? Like, it can be done.
I'm gonna have to go watch that one back. I didn't realize you guys had some.
It was
I don't always
that was
have
a while
the time,
ago.
but that's some heat. Holy shit! I want to check that out because I want to find out what that common ground was.
Well,
I always like finding
Doug knew him before he came on.
Yeah,
our show.
I've interviewed Josh before on three. Yeah, well, I did a 3-part podcast a while back during the beginning of the pandemic with a friend of mine who actually knows Josh better than I do. My friend Bob.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, my buddy Bob, I've known for 20 years. He used to go around and photograph bands at like live shows and shit. And he ended up befriending like Coheed and Cambria pretty well. And he went on like 5K runs with like Zach and Josh and shit. So that was the initial in. And then Paul and I started doing our thing, and Josh made some Twitter post about the firearm thing and started following Paul, and then that kind of spitballed into him coming on our show.
And I'm not going to say like we're best buddies or anything, but we are friends now. Like we are in a friendly relationship. Another one is Mike Rainey. He was kind of a big get for us.
Alan Covert.
And I'm not doing this to Alan Covert. I'm not doing this to name drop, but we'll also have somebody on. We'll have a homeless guy from Austin, Texas on too. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just you have to be a big.
You guys even have to preface your shit that way, because it's like you guys got a little time on me. You've got some wisdom, and the idea that there's people out there who you can't just make your statements without somebody trying to find a way to cut it down. There's something about, oh, you had this person on, so you're too big. Oh, you had this person on, so you can only get nobodies. Oh, you had nobody on, so you're a nobody. There's always going to be some fucking comment.
The greatest thing that ever gets said to us, and Doug, if I'm wrong on this, you could say your piece onto it. But damn near every guest who ever comes on our show, whether they're famous or not, at the end of it always has said something to this effect. Oh my God, that was one of the funnest podcast experiences I've ever had. How come nobody's ever heard of you guys? And it's the nicest compliment, but in the same token, It's like, yeah, we don't get a lot of exposure. We're not the algorithm.
The world of the internet is vast and big, and there's a lot of people doing it. And that's it. But that's any medium.
Yeah, we're not grifting. We're not trying to sell you
making money on this.
We're not trying to get you to our political views. And me and Doug have differing political views. We talk to people about our political views, but I'm not trying to win anybody to the church of my thought process. You know what I mean? I want to understand how you as a human work, why you make the decisions you do. If you want to know it with me, I'll have the honest conversation with you, tell you how I feel on it. And the only thing I always preface with people is my views on life, politics, pop culture, movies. Like, I've thought about them heavily. So I know how to articulate and argue my point. And if you want to do that, I'm down. Know that nothing should be taken personal.
Of course,
like, I don't hate
how
to
you. Do that either.
Yeah.
They'll
and that's the big
get really dug in. And if you can just have that level of respect and don't be married to your idea, because the idea isn't you. And if the idea, I don't want to say is wrong, but if you can improve an idea, why not be open to that interpretation instead of cutting it all off? Because that doesn't help you grow. That'll leave you weak.
I famously have a thing on our show, and Doug like rolls. I know he's gonna roll his eyes as soon as I say this. I have what's called Paul's 2 rules of life, where we can all live copacetically
Oh,
together.
I wish my camera was on right now. My eyes are so far back in my head.
Okay, these are the 2 rules. If everybody
Well, they're the
followed these
best.
2, if everybody followed these 2
no
rules,
kids is one of them. Never kids. I know.
you know these. You know the rules.
I love
Yeah.
the rules.
The rule is if you're over the age of 18 years old, do whatever you want as long as you're not physically harming another person. Rule number 2, kids are off limits, no exception.
Yep.
Period. That's it. If we can follow those 2 rules, I can get along and coexist with any person.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's pretty fucking easy, and I'm glad you kind of lit up there, and I'm happy because I pay attention. You know, I don't just come in and say what up and then bow out. I actually enjoy your guys' show. I don't think it's
Appreciate
just
that.
a podcast. And I don't want to like sit here and hype up my own shit, but I'm not necessarily trying to be a podcast either. You know, this is more of a. I've told people this in the past. I think I talked to Broseph about it on a bonus episode that I'm
Shout out,
going
Broseph.
for. Shout out
Broseph.
Broseph.
I love Broseph.
Man. They did Right Ideas today with him and Dave. So
Yeah, no, they hit me up. They're like, "You coming on today?" Because I'm like, I'm the unofficial third mic, and I'm like, I can't. I'm going to be on Indian show, but I'll be there next Saturday for sure.
Oh fuck, my bad. Yeah.
No, dude, no, it's totally okay.
We could have figured that out. I would have been cool with like that.
This worked for
wouldn't have
Doug.
bothered me.
Doug's schedule is the one that matters. Like, I can fit in wherever Doug is good, and I'm glad we were able to do this, man. I wanted to do this because I like supporting it. The people who support us, you know what I mean? I'm a firm
Yeah.
believer in support
Build
those
each
who
other up.
support us. A rising tide
Yeah.
lifts all ships.
Build your own roads, dude.
Yeah. Fuck the
No, I
government.
appreciate it. Yeah, you guys have been nothing but solid, and I mean that. Ever since coming from Skankfest, just post Skankfest, seeing the people that have been cool, and now I can finally announce it on the show that I've remembered. I am officially coming back. I've already been given certain people that are like on the your good list, the pre-list. They got their emails already, and I'm not trying to brag. I'm really not. This is just like I'm happy that I had something cool to do. But I'm really excited that I get to go back to Skankfest
That's
this
awesome.
year.
So I've never
Yeah.
been to a Skankfest. Like I know what Skankfest is. I've followed Skankfest. Me and Luis Gomez are in a rebuilding period right now. I like the
Nice.
guy a lot. Doug's still hurt, and I get
I'm
it.
not.
and I
I'm not
understand.
still hurt. I just don't care.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's a very different place.
is
too.
Skankfest like something now that you have to be on a list to go to attend? Like, is it that big?
So
It's like a white party.
there's a couple levels to it. I'll try not to like spend 10 years or 12 years a slave explaining everything, but
12 Years a Slave.
I mean-
Good movie. Good book.
Like, can I not just go to a website right now and buy tickets to Skankfest? Is that not a thing I can do?
No, you can.
So you were able to get on a pre-ordered thing, and I don't know if they probably do, but I don't know if they have the public ticket sales available right now. They will eventually, but no, I want to I'm going as a volunteer.
Oh, you're
That's
working
what-
the event.
Yeah,
Oh.
I worked it in November, and I met a lot of people. Like even Broseph and I think back and like I did meet him. We didn't hang out, but I did meet him at
Well-
Skank in November.
Well, now I have a question for you. What is Because I've seen this. That people have told me like, oh, you always talk about wanting to go, but you can't afford it. Like volunteer. What does volunteering entail? Like you bring comedians water and shit and do whatever you're
Work a
told
booth.
kind of thing.
You do something like a personal assistant. Yeah. Like
So, without getting too whimsical on you guys, I want you to imagine you are you, and you are around everybody that you want to be around, and what you do kind of depends on your willingness to.
What Hindi is trying to say is he blew
Did you have to clean up Ari Shafir's shit after he shit on
Yeah.
stage?
If I had blew Shane Gillis, I'd be on fucking tires, and don't
Yeah.
think I wanted. Like I was tempted to go up and be like, "Hey, dude, you got any auditions for season 3? I just want to be it. I'll say anything. Just give me one.
If I blew
line,
Shane
man."
Gillis, I would make a T-shirt commemorating the moment and wear it every single day.
Gross.
Just run
Ew.
into one of those.
Shout out
fucking,
Shane Gillis.
What are those things called? Pictograms, like the steel balls where you put your hand into it and leave an imprint.
Yeah.
It's just you and him jumping into that while you're blowing.
No, yeah, it's just his dick in Paul's mouth and there's an imprint.
God, you guys are getting me excited about this. Are you guys trying to arouse me? Because it's working.
I mean, you'll be aroused at Skankfest if you go as a volunteer. The
Hang out
volunteer
with Ellie.
submissions are still open.
Are there
Yeah, Ellie was there.
are there volunteer groupies? Like, are there groupies that like bang volunteers?
A lot of volunteers got pussy or dick if that's what they were into.
I want to pay that trans person that Joe DeRosa got a blowjob from. That's who I want to do.
Not going after Jim's trophy wife.
No, God, no. She's Finnish.
You know, I've never. Is she really? Do you know I've never seen Jim Norton's wife? I need to
No,
Google
she's
this
Swedish.
right now.
I'm sorry.
Theo has. Theo's seen a little too much of her.
Jim Norton's wife is a man, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I was wrong. Not Finnish. She's Swedish because he was just on a podcast. They stopped doing their show Swordfish. He was just on a podcast where he talked about how during the holidays they went back to Sweden to spend time with their family, and he's like, I hated it. He's like, they all speak another language. I just sit there staring at the wall the entire time.
Okay, so I've known for years now that Jim Norton was married to a tranny. I
Well,
have
it's
never
not
seen her
years.
until this very well. Okay,
It's only been the
however
last
that long.
2 years.
Doug. Fun fact about 2 years. That's years.
Yeah, but you made it sound like it was long time. Shut up.
Well, I've known about it for years.
I'm so glad we're on
I've known
break.
about it since they got married. But the point I'm trying to make is I'm now just looking at him, her, whatever you want to say. I don't care. For the first time, and I gotta say, I was expecting
type.
like
It's
a
your
dude
type.
wearing lipstick. No, this is a hot-looking guy.
Yeah, it's your type. I know. I've seen the women you've dated. It's your type.
Yeah. I mean, the
Adam's
penis
apple.
throw me off, but everything else, I'm a fan.
You've got such a feminine Adam's apple.
He's got the cutest nose, the most perfect smile, the nicest Adam's apple.
Feminine Adam's apple.
The longest, thickest clit.
That's my mangina. And she's cute. She's a good-looking gal. Good
She's
for you,
a-
Jim.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love Jim Norton to begin with, and I've been listening to Jim going back to the Opie and Anthony days, but I also have like all of his books. I'll tell you want to read a fascinating life story. His first book, I can't even think of the name of it off the top of my head. It's something about Don't Fuck Fat Chicks. I'm probably wrong, but his first book is essentially an autobiography. It really does explain like why Jim Norton is the way he is. Like, that's a dude who was like experimenting, getting peed on when he was like in elementary school and shit by other kids in the neighborhood. Like, he's a very odd dude, but very funny dude. I don't know where I was going with that.
Wait, I have a question. Is she post-op or no? Like, she's still got the Franken beans.
She's
No,
still got
she
the
still
Frankenbeans. Yeah, Jim. That's what Jim
Really?
loves about her.
Jim showed it to Theo on one of the episodes of last
yeah.
week, and he fucking freaked out. He wanted to see it, but it freaked him out. He stared too long into the abyss, man.
Yeah, it's like looking at Penny. It's like looking at Pennywise's
and it
headlights.
stared back.
Exactly. That's what I mean. He stared into the fucking deadlights. There was no coming back from that. But
Interesting.
yeah, I think you guys, if you maybe you wouldn't want to do it, but I got to take Brad Williams back to his hotel as a volunteer. I got to
piggyback
take
ride him?
Scott Thompson. No, I had a nice rental. I got a
Scott
2025
Thompson.
Chevy Trailblazer. I was out there playing Lil Wayne music because I wanted to respect New
Oh, I
Orleans.
love Lil
I
Wayne.
felt like I had to, and I was playing the old shit. I wasn't playing any of his, like, even Carter 2 I wasn't doing. I was playing, like, the Squad Lil Wayne.
See, I love
Back when he was
Carter 3.
Wheezy Baby.
I love the Carter 3. That's like one of my favorite albums. I also
Me
like.
too.
What's the one? Is it America's? Not America's Most Wanted, but the one where he had Travis Barker on. It was like a rock album. He put out an album like right after the Carter 3, and it was like a straight up rock hip hop album. It was so good.
No, you're right, because that's when he was bouncing. He did that Party Like a Rock Stars remix, and like he was on a big rock and roll kick for 7
Oh,
years. Started
so
skating and
good.
shit. It was a
So
good pivot for him. I'm not gonna lie, he got a lot of motion off of that. Some people didn't like it, like people from the hood, but I get it.
You said Scott Thompson. I actually met all the kids in the hall. I went to one of their reunion shows, and I have photos with all of them. And Bruce McCullough is like my favorite. He's my favorite of the group, but he's like one of my favorite comedy writers. And all of the photos I have with the kids in the hall, they all look completely unhappy to meet me or be in that photo, except for Scott Thompson. Like, that dude was just a joy to be around.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the opportunities I got to hang out with him. I know there's a couple of people that have funny stories with him. I don't want to tell them, but there's a guy who also volunteered at Skank with me. Shout out Shane. He'll be coming on eventually.
Oh, nice.
I'll have him on for an episode, but he has a story with him. He was an awesome hang. And I want you guys to like really.
Did you blow that chain too?
Of course I did. I blew every Shane. I didn't know which one was Shane Gillis. I'm a retard. I had to find the right Shane. I could only find. I'm like a dog where but instead of sniffing ass, I'm blowing cock. That's how I.
Blow me 3 times, shame on me.
Shane, blow me 3 times, Shane on me.
Shane on me, yeah.
Shane on me.
Comedy.
Give it a go.
I've never been able to smoke weed in front of cops before, and shout out to the New Orleans Police Department that everybody was okay to smoke weed in front of the cops.
Is it legal in Louisiana or no?
I don't know if
Criminalized,
that's exactly. I think that's a line that's starting to change. It's like smoking a cigarette, and it was just me being proud of seeing that moment at an event like this where there were no high tensions, and I busted my ass. I was working 18-hour shifts. It was not required of me, but people were dropping out and not showing up for shifts because they just wanted to pretend to be a volunteer for a little bit, get the badge, and then come in and watch it for all 3 days, which that's cool, but they really appreciated that I helped, and I know that's why I got the call back to come out. I'm excited.
They're a medical state. They're not a recreational state. See, we live in Michigan, and we were one of like the first 5 states to go recreational. Yeah, so it's not a big deal.
Are you in Lower Michigan or Upper Michigan?
I am. I'm in. I don't like to say specifics, but I'm in the northern glove. I'm not in the UP.
Oh, you're not in the mitten. Okay.
No, I'm in the mitten, but I'm not.
I bet you I could take a guess and like get it right on the first shot.
I mean, if you got it, I would probably just that would be the first time anything got bleeped from the show, but I wouldn't tell you not to guess.
I wonder how far.
Do you like Blink-182's drummer?
What? The fuck kind of question is that?
I think he's asking me a question to his question, and I don't know who that is.
Travis Barker? He's from California. He don't live in Michigan, dude. What are you talking about, Paul?
You're right. Travis Barker does not live in Michigan. You're right, Doug.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my god.
I'm right,
but,
Indian?
3 weeks is
I used to actually do because I'm still loosely affiliated, but I actually was a grower. Like, I'm showing Brosif on my Google Drive and shit because it's my portfolio when I show people what I do professionally. But I won an award back in 2024 for the product, and it was just me and 2 other guys, the owner and a coworker. And I'm like, that's one accolade I can at least be proud of. No, High Time sucks now. It was
Indian,
the best in
I just wrote a sketch, a comedy sketch in my head based on what you just said. Like, do you guys know how much pussy I get by showing my Google Drive? And then it's just like you walking up to chicks like, hey, baby, check out this Google Drive. I don't know why. That just hit me right away. I had a buddy in the Navy. I had a buddy in the Navy who won the Duncan Yo-Yo Championship in like 2002. And we were deployed. And he's like somebody's playing with a yo-yo and he walks by. We didn't know he was a grand champion before this. Somebody's playing with a yo-yo and there's like, oh man, I could do this trick. It is, I won't say his name. Let's call him Kobe for anonymity. They were like, Kobe's like, can I take a look at that? And we're like, yeah. And then he just started like doing mind-bending physical magic with a yo-yo. And he's like, we're like, dude, how long have you done this? He's like, yeah, I'm the 2003 Duncan Imperial Yo-Yo champion. And we're like, are you fucking serious? That's sick. He's like, cool. Yeah. He goes, yeah. Ask me how much pussy I got by being a yo-yo master.
I don't want to brag, but my uncle is bigger than the Kraken bowling champion.
And you're like, how much? And he's like, 0.
None. He's like, ask me how many times I masturbated alone in a room after 6 hours of practicing with my yo-yo. Infinite.
Ask me how many times I had to pay for a happy ending.
Yeah.
I am 56 years old. I am a world-renowned yo-yo champion.
God, that's a flex. I'm the type of retard I would be proud of. I'd be going around at 80. Like, yeah, I'm the grand yo-yo champion. I've still got it.
Yeah.
I used to be like that in my younger days over frivolous things where I would tout it like it was a status thing for me. And then as I get older, it's like, who gives a shit? Now I judge people for doing it.
Well, Ignorance is wasted. Ignorance is wasted on the youth. The youth think they're so important, and they haven't figured out that
Especially
none
this
of them
current.
fucking matter. Nobody gives a fuck.
That's the thing. I've been told that I'm more like Joe DeRosa than anybody else because my outlooks and views on life are so bleak. But it's true. Like Bernie Sanders posted something yesterday about like tomorrow millions of Americans will be rounding up for the No Kings rallies and protests, that we don't want to live under an oligarchy or a monarchy. And it's like, one could argue. I think I wrote something to the effect of like, one could argue the fact that you have the freedom to go out and do this kind of shit while holding signs and screaming at people, that you don't live under a monarchy. Like, just live your fucking life, man. Life is meaningless. It ends at one point. Just fucking live it instead of bitching about it. I don't know where I was going.
I'll actually tack on to this because this is a hard take that I don't think people are courageous enough to admit. Where by saying this, I understand that the people who listen, which it's not millions, sometimes I get decent views, but whoever listens to this, I'd love for this to get taken out of context. But the whole, I believe her name was Renee Good. It was the woman.
Oh yeah, the ICE agent that killed her was found not guilty recently. Yeah.
So I'm going to be very clear. When you fuck around,
you find out.
Yes, sir. And that is not an approval or a cosign or me taking glee or delight in the loss of a life, because people have family and you can't get that back. Once you take it, it's gone.
Yeah, I'll take this a step further. I'm not going to gloat on somebody's death whatsoever. But when it happened, there was a small piece of me that on the internal side, who's been the guy stuck in traffic because some asshole is blocking it with their car because of their political views. There's a little piece of me that's like, all right, we got one back on the scoreboard. You know what I mean? Like, this was worth being late to work today.
I get that. I'm not saying that part isn't the good thing. I'm saying that in that nobility, I don't know if Renee was prepared to make that sacrifice or if she believed that was on the table. She found herself to be immune to any threat of death because there was no way that in her country that she lived would she be shot just for simply, like, she'd be arrested and no, she was shot and murdered. And I'm saying that because she had the, you want to call it courage, some will call it audacity. Yeah. I'm not here to make either side of that, but
she died for her beliefs.
Yes, that's what she died for. And if I don't know if that's how she wanted to go, but because she chose that path, which that should probably be the lesson that anybody who wants to rant and rave about it takes away from it and should pass on and emphasize and underline. You making a decision in haste without recognizing all possible outcomes.
I'm surprised that
worst fucking decision you can make.
Her side of the aisle doesn't turn her into a martyr and use her death to advocate. And I'm surprised they haven't. Do you guys remember about a year and a half ago, a woman who was an activist in San Francisco? She was an activist for cashless bond for black people. Like if you were black and got arrested, you shouldn't get bond. You should just be let out the next day. And
that makes sense.
Kamala Harris?
No, this was just some regular Karen White chick, right? Who she was a Karen White chick, and she would do this. And she ended up getting robbed by a black guy in San Francisco who ended up shooting her and killing her during the robbery. And her family begged the county, the district attorney, not to press charges against, because that's what she would have wanted. I'm like, this is so insane. Wow. But in the same token, if that's what you truly believe, at least you're standing by what you believe. You know what I mean? You're saying it would probably be her wish to have this guy not go to jail for killing her. I think it's retarded, but kudos to you for believing it.
You're taking quite the gamble on that guy coming back and being a success story in society as a contributing member. What a trade that you're taking. And that's
wow. I forgot the part of the story. He was arrested the day before and he was let out on cashless bond. He didn't have to pay bond. They just let him out because that passed.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, if he would have been locked up, she'd still be alive.
I read something yesterday about a black dude who was 29. I forget where this was, but he was sentenced to 15 years in prison for multiple rape of kids between the age of 5 and 13, and one of the girls
What
he
the
killed.
fuck?
One of the girls he killed, he got 15 years. 2 days later, the inmates in the jail murdered him. I'm like, well, that is perfect
Oh yeah,
justice, dude.
that
right
that
there.
always happens. Normally they don't make it that far when they get to intake before they go to the court. When they're in the tank, that's normally when they got the cuffs on. They surround you. They block out the cameras, and then the biggest guy in there comes up behind you, puts his arms in front of you over your head, pulls the cuffs under your fucking Adam's apple, and says, "Night, night, motherfucker," because they know.
You're
saw
describing
your
this like you've
papers.
seen it firsthand, man.
Well, it's just
you
the
okay?
way that these things go. You know what I'm
Fever
saying? It's how it goes down. Some people don't understand the visceral nature of real life. They live
Oh,
it
no,
through a fucking movie, and they're like
I
afraid
completely understand.
to step back, and maybe hesitation is a good idea sometimes for, like, you guys get it. I don't want to just praise you, and self-praise stinks, so I don't want to sit up on this pedestal like I'm the almighty who is never going to fuck up. I've made plenty of mistakes that have put me in positions where if I didn't navigate them correctly, motherfucker, I'd be dead right now, and I'm lucky that I'm still here. It's not that it's good or bad that I'm here, but I'm lucky that I'm fucking here right now where I'm at compared to some of the situations I've been in where, of course, you'd like to figure out revenge or whatever, but then you start trading too much of your life to that, and it's like a video game, right? It's good in moderation, but once you see that the time you've spent on a single game is like 5 years in-game time, you might want to think about that could have been outside with a bitch, getting your dick sucked, smoking a blunt, or at a party. You know,
Now, so what's hilarious is between me and Doug, I gave up gaming a long time ago. Like, I wouldn't say I gave it up. Like, I'll still play occasionally, but I still have a PS4. It hasn't been turned on in months and months and months. Just because I was nationally ranked in the game Destiny. I loved it. I was glued to it, just like you said. I spent
chatted
days
about
in
this
game.
a little bit. I'm so glad you brought this up because I was a big Destiny fan. You were ranked what?
Yeah. Like in PvP. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. It was a blast. It was the only game that ever captured my life like that. Like,
what
that
was
got
your
me
rollout when D2 came out? Were you doing origin story?
What do you mean?
That was my go-to auto rifle when I was in PvP.
Like, what was my loadout? You want to know my loadout?
That was just a really good legendary. Like, origin story was a good go-to. I know a lot of people liked that triple burst. I can't remember what it was called. The fucking, like, Egyptian one, the harsh truths or whatever.
I'll be honest. Once Destiny 2 came out, I played it for the first year, but I really lost the luster. Like, to me, it just wasn't Destiny. Destiny 1 captured something inside me that it's hard to explain. But
Taken King, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Taken King was phenomenal. Yeah. To say what was my favorite weapon in Destiny, the sniper rifle, Patience and Time. Loved it.
Okay, you're one of those guys.
Yeah.
I got you.
For sure. I mean, hand cannons were my go-to in PvP because they were so fucking OP and broken at the time. Yeah, I haven't played Destiny in years.
They were just fun to use as well, even if you missed or you kept dying, like the Hawk Moon or whatever. Or if you were playing Hunter and activating, the Golden Gun.
Yeah,
all that shit was cool.
I can't even remember the Thorn gun. That was so OP.
There was Thorn. There was Rose. Yeah, you're right. See, you know what's going on.
I had literally weeks in game. Like, I played everything. I played, like, I was also like in the race every time they would drop a new DLC of beating the raids. Like, I never took first. I was never my team was never first done, but we were number 9 on Taken King.
That's not an easy feat. That's actually pretty brag-worthy.
No.
I respect the fuck out of that. Because I was a naive, inept fool when that game came out, and I just used to run around with my homie. Shout out to Redman from the Raver Kids. We would take turns doing dabs, and we would keep playing until one of us would die. And our rule was we could only use the fourth horseman.
God, I miss getting high.
Yeah,
my raid group was DPS. Shout out DPS.
We would just we would have like the boots that make you slide further, and like anything else that increased your slide distance or and we would just slide in, and that gun would rear up on people, and we would emote on them and move on to the next. And that was a good feel, you know.
You can't describe how great Destiny was to people who never played it in the moment, because for me there was nothing better than raids and Trials of Osiris. Like those were the two things I could spend my whole life doing nonstop over and over. Any of the raids, all the raids were great. They were all well written stories.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't know. It's tough for me too, because as much as I look back at Destiny now and I see the whole marathon debacle, for example, because that's kind of embarrassing.
I don't know what that is. I haven't followed in years.
Good. I don't want to turn this into like a whole gaming thing, but if you guys weren't aware, this marathon is like their new baby, and it's actually a game from their past before Halo. It was the one that they started on, and I mean, it had like a sequel, and there's secrets of Marathon buried in the Halo 2 and Halo 3 games. Like if you go up to the Oracle or the terminals, all the terminals have information about the original Marathon games. So it's kind of weird that they brought it back in this new way, but they found out key art was stolen from people who are like Twitter artists. They just ripped the fucking files from them, put it into the game, and then they had to stop the launch, rework a bunch of shit, and now they've launched the game or whatever. But it's like embarrassing that, you know, it's hard that to get excited about anything anymore. That's why I guess I'm kind of checked out of gaming. I still try to play a little bit every now and then, but I don't care as much anymore. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards where
Doug,
you guys
where
are
are
at.
you at? I think Doug plays pretty consistently, but you're not
I was
like an online player. Like,
no,
you're just like story mode.
I was literally playing games before we got on the show this afternoon. I've been playing them all morning. Well, that's not true. I rewatched Ryan Gosling's Drive, but as far as gaming goes, I play pretty consistently daily, anywhere from like a half hour to 3.5 hours. And I
You're the type of person. You're the type of person who it's different every day, right? You wake up and you're like, "Oh, I'm in the mood to play this today," or "I'm in the mood to play this." You don't have something you're glued to.
Not necessarily. I'm the kind of guy that I have a wish list on the PlayStation Store of games that I want to play, but I just don't have the money to buy them. So whenever I constantly checking the store for sales. And when I see a game that I want, I'll pick it up when it's on sale, and I just let them. I've got 20 games on my hard drive that I have yet to even crack open, because I will get focused on one game and play it until I can't play it no more, until I've beat it and unlocked everything I want to unlock and do side quests and shit, and then I'll move on to something. It'll take me a few days, but I'll find something of trial and error. I just beat Far Cry Primal like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I went as far as I could with that. Like, I'm not going to platinum that game because there's too many things that you have to do that's just too crazy and hard that I don't want to spend the time on. So I went to Mafia 3. I beat the first two. I never actually picked up the third one and started playing it. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, I'm in the middle of the story, which is good. I really enjoy it, but like I'm the kind of person that I'll do all the side quests and shit and get all of that out of the way. I like solving puzzles and doing like side shit more than anything.
Is Far Cry Primal the one with the redheaded chick from Game of Thrones?
No, that you're thinking of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
Far Cry Primal is the only game in the Far Cry series that's set like during the caveman era. Like you're hunting woolly mammoths and you're tribal and shit like that.
The other game with the redheaded chick is similar, right? Like it's like caveman-y.
No. Horizon Zero Dawn and its sequel are they're like futuristic games. It looks, I can understand where you see that. It does look like some of the clothing looks like caveman people, but it's in like a technological
dystopian future.
Yeah, where like there's tons of like animals that are like robotic and shit like that. Yeah. It's okay. I mean, I've played both of those games. I don't hate them, don't love them. But I'm
a little goy sloppy for me. It reminded me of Anthem, where like they had an idea and they just didn't do enough for it to be anything like most games now. It's not enough.
I am for sure gonna buy a PS7 8 years from now when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out.
6 is coming out at the end of this year. It's coming out the end of this year.
They said the 26th, but I don't think it's coming out on the 26th still. I think it's going to get delayed again. May 26th, there's no way. They haven't released another trailer or talked about it at all. They're scared to release it. I've brought that up in the past. They're not going to release that game the way people think because they've made enough money off 5. They're not hemorrhaging money. They're not bleeding money. They have so much fucking money off microtransactions from GTA Online. It's insane that anybody thinks that they're worried about anything except risking their player base not liking the new game, and then online collapses because 5 was their baby and it was stable and it was basically like a Second Life successor, because that's what people do is role play on it.
Well, same with Red Dead.
Just switched to doing that. Yeah, true.
I did.
Very true.
As Paul said, I'm not an online gamer, but last Christmas break, I did get a PlayStation Plus membership, and I did spend a good week playing Red Dead Online, and I can see the allure. I used to love online gaming in my 20s, back when Xbox Live was free, and I would play Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow for hours after work. Like, I would go from like 1 in the morning until like 10 in the morning playing Pandora Tomorrow, like Spy versus Merc and shit. And I had a lot of fun doing it, but when they started charging for it, I'm like, this isn't appealing. And then Fortnite came around, and I'm like, well, I'll give this a shot. And I got online for that, and I'm like, I could never make any headway because every time I'd spawn, somebody would snipe me. And I got tired of being called a fag by little kids left and right. So I'm like, the appeal of online gaming isn't, it's just not there for me anymore. The last great game that I played online was Gears of War on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
My buddy Dan and I, we would get together after work and we would both do co-op. We'd play the game in co-op and so we could get all of the achievements and all the dog tags and shit. And then we'd play all of the online stuff and help each other out and shit, you know.
I would always beat him on Insane, and I actually, so on 3, I was ranked 347 in the world for ranked execution.
Nice.
On that game, that meant something. If you were in the top 1,000,
sure,
you were doing something right.
If you're in the top 1,000 for any AAA game, that's an achievement.
Yeah, I was proud of that stat. I busted ass for it, and I would play with the #1 player in the world. We were friends. Shout out to this guy 420, Mike Wood. That guy was #1, yo. And
did you ever get a kill on him?
I don't know if we ever matched against you. I think we met up on a game on Gridlock because it was nighttime map back in the day, and he was running with his 4 homies, and they were talking about Grundle, which if people don't know what a Grundle is,
it's
like
the space between your balls. Yeah, it's the gooch. Balls in your butthole.
Yeah, we're talking about a fucking bowl of Grundle and shit, and I'm just making them laugh, and then they all die. It's the last round. It's a 1v5 situation, and I somehow clutched it up, and so they invited me, and the rest was history, and I just ended up becoming a part of this little microcosm thing, and I had a lot of fun doing that because, ever since then, I never wanted to take it professional. I had opportunities and life kind of got in the way. Just shit happens, but
I get it.
Dude, I used to be masters in a couple of these games. Like, I still have screenshots of being like masters in Gears of War 4 and 5.
And I got out of Xbox right as the 360 was going out, and I kind of like went straight PlayStation from that point on. And a couple of years ago, my cousin sold me his Xbox One, and I'm like, he was telling me about the Game Pass, and I'm like, sweet, I can go back and play Fable and the original Gears of War. And I was excited because I wanted to play Gears of War 4 and 5, and I didn't realize that Cliffy B was no longer in charge, that they started, it went from Epic Games to the Coalition, I think it was called. And
they did a very dirty dance, but go ahead.
And I gotta be honest, like Gears of War 1 through 3 and what's the one with Baird? Judgment, I really enjoy. 4 and 5, I fucking hated so much. Like I never finished either of them. I started them, but I'm like,
they're very objectively bad games, and
terrible.
Yeah, I try not to talk about them because we talked about it on the pre-show a little bit. Like I said, I've spoken with Karen Travis at length, and she's a wonderful person. I really appreciated that she would even like take the time with somebody like me. And for 3 hours, we went over a lot of details, and I kind of told her, didn't mean to like drop the bomb on her, but she wasn't even aware that they had made changes to how she had written things in the books when they were doing like that flashback scene in Gears of War 4. they changed like the whole fucking how Commando Dom hit the beach and they stole the Hammer of Dawn. And she'd had no idea. And that's actually something that had happened to her with the Star Wars universe. She spent years crafting the Commando series, like the Republic Commandos. They made a game about it, and they were going to make a sequel. And then Star Wars Clone Wars came out, that animated show.
I love that show.
They retconned a bunch of shit back when the rights got sold, and then they told her, oh, all of your shit isn't real anymore. And so she got bummed out and was like, oh, okay. And yeah, she's had her, imagine building a universe and then they just kind of take it away from you or make changes without making sure it makes sense with everything or finding a way to make it make sense.
Every generation does that, though. Like, there's no more originality anymore. Like, I got to imagine Tolkien is rolling in his grave learning that, like, the Rings of Power became a thing on Amazon, and, like, now Stephen Colbert is writing a fucking Lord of the Rings.
God.
Like, dude, like, when Peter Jackson made that announcement and brought Stephen Colbert on a Zoom call, and he's like, so you've been you took a chapter that we never really filmed for the original trilogy, and you're gonna go ahead and write a movie with your son. And I'm like, nobody wants this. Like, if you're not paying attention,
nobody wants this.
Like, if you have not been, if you're a creator like Peter Jackson or anybody working in that medium, and you have not been paying attention or just turned a blind eye to the culture, like, you have to know that no one is good. You might get the Rings of Power people might go see it, but, like, nobody wants that. I get that Stephen Colbert is a big Lord of the Rings fan, but I don't want to see a fucking Lord of the Rings movie from that dildo.
Doug, I've said this for years. You've heard me say it for years. If it's not something that you know is not for you, don't spend money on it. Hollywood knows about money. That's what they really care about. They don't care about politics. They don't care about your gender identity. Once they start losing money, they'll change it. And we've already seen that this year. Like,
yeah, but
I think
who's
Top Gun
advising them? Who's
Yeah,
advising them in this, man? I don't want to cut you off. Like, I agree with him a little bit. Like, there's no way that they reached a logical conclusion, because I thought that it was like, you know, when parody accounts will say, oh, fucking Tom Cruise is gonna play Mario or what, and it's fucking bullshit. I thought that was fake. I'm like, oh man, this is funny, Colbert doing Lord. And I found out it was real, and I stopped laughing. I was like, you can't do this, man. I didn't even enjoy the fucking The Hobbit. I didn't watch any of those. I was like, I can't do it.
I love them. I love them so much.
Look, it's not that I want to say they're bad. I just can't handle how bad the dragon CGI and Smog is, and it's like they did better jobs with like actual using real shit instead of using computers for the original movies. And people are leaning too much on this digital shit. Like, I want to see practical effects.
Practical effects are way better.
I want
Without
to
a doubt, yeah.
I want to see set building. I want to, like, make a fucking effort. I don't
Miniatures,
want you to just digitize it. Don't pay some fat fuck who's playing World of Warcraft in the background, and then it's $100,000 for like 2 minutes of a green screen background. How does that cost $100,000? It never adds up to me. It's the same scam when they were like, oh, if we start making shit digital, it'll get cheaper. Then why are fucking movies still $20 to rent anytime you're on a fucking service? Now Netflix is raising the price again.
Who's still
I don't fucking get it. I don't get it.
I don't pay for
Yo ho,
Soulseek.
Yo ho.
Let me tell you something. Soulseek has become my new best friend this last week. I bought a new hard drive. I've been recollecting old comics series that I'd forgotten about from like years ago. And then I started finding old TV shows that I can't find on any streaming service, but I found them on Soulseek. Soulseek rules, dude.
I got a good one for you if you're looking for a rec. Not to pull a fucking we might be drunk, but
give it to me.
You ever seen Mannix?
Never even heard of it.
Oh, I'm so happy. Yes, dude. Season 1 is really good.
How do you spell?
I'm not saying that the Mannix. Mannix.
Mannix. Writing it down. I'll check it out.
It's like a secret agent, private investigator kind of thing. but it's just like, it's got that old school, like 60, I think it's from the 60s. It's got that vintage feel to it. So all the cars are cool, all the outfits are sleek. There's not a bunch of garbage and homeless people everywhere. The streets are fucking
like an
clean.
LA Confidential type setting.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very, and because it's not
40s, 50s. It's called noir.
Yeah, they're not emulating a time, they're living in the time, so it's a more authentic feel. I think that's the problem I have when, I didn't like The Irishman because
I didn't either.
There was so much fucking de-aging, there was so much proliferating, and it's like they were sucking themselves off so much in the movie for 3 fucking hours.
And if I'm not mistaken, that came out right at the beginning of the pandemic or around that time, because I remember our dad.
It was supposed to be a fucking boomer Zog Slop soak movie.
Our dad got really, I remember we were like hanging out at our parents' house around that time, and Dad was like really like in love with The Irishman, and I'm like, this is the longest fucking sit I've had. I hate that movie. Black
Mass is a better movie. If we're gonna be honest, it is.
With Johnny Depp, Black Mass is much better, but it's still not a good. To me, that movie wasn't executed. The previews were better than the movie itself, but I agree with you that it was better than The Irishman.
I think if they did a quicker cut of it, if they chopped like 20 minutes of that movie, it would actually be an 8.5 out of a 10. It's a 6 out of 10 for me now, but I just, that's me.
I think that could be said about a lot of modern day epic movies. Like, you just made it 3.5 hours because you want it to contend for Oscar season. You could have done without 30 to 45 minutes of this movie. You could have just removed it and it would have been a way better movie.
Movies used to be like an hour and 10 minutes, and then that's with credits, bro. I don't know what changed.
And if you were an Oscar film, you did 2, maybe 2.5.
That's
now you gotta do 4 hours if you want to be an Oscar.
What happened to a fucking intermission in the middle? I mean, everybody loves the best part of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is the fucking intermission when you can go take a shit, homie. I don't want to sit there for the whole time with my nieces watching something that I watched in my childhood, and then I can't go to the bathroom, I can't pause it or something.
That's what I like about the Hateful Eight and Gone with the Wind is the intermission that they had, the manually put in intermissions. I'll tell you, another one I feel that way about, which I really was like looking forward to, was the Matt Reeves' The Batman. And I love Batman. I've got Batman posters all over my fucking wall. That movie is way too fucking long. It doesn't. Let's do a really bad cover of a Nirvana song.
That's all it was, bro.
And it's weird that movie, like the Penguin series that came from that movie, was better than the Batman movie itself. And you know what's wild to me is that movie initially. True. That movie initially was supposed to be Matt Reeves and Ben Affleck were writing the script for Ben Affleck to play the Batman. And I'm like, I want to see the version that they were planning over this version. Like, this is an art house Batman that is 3.5 hours long.
Are you talking about the Twilight Batman guy?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson. It was supposed to be Ben Affleck.
I'm so glad you segued into this because I kind of wanted to talk, like, it's fun that it came up organically. Why is it that a lot of media nowadays has to have like some kind of gay or sexual or incestual or there's some type of
tell a good story.
And I mean it. I've got 3 examples from motherfuckers who are like, oh, Hindian, you're just talking that regular bullshit. You don't got nothing to back it up. Bullshit, motherfucker. Off the top of the dome, I'm gonna pull these out of my ass and prove my point. One off the top, that Fallout show. I finally tried to give it a chance. The first fucking episode is incest. They're calling it cousin love or something, where they practice fucking each other. So that's what I'm supposed to like get into about the show.
If you stuck
you're in bad company. I think me and Doug both like it.
I mean, I love I do like the show and I love the games, but like if you would have stuck around for season 2, you'd find out that there's like a support group for all the children of incestuous relationships support group. But I don't know.
See, they created that. Like, that's not an angle you need to explore in this universe.
So you're saying it's not something that was. It's not something. I never played the Fallout games. Is that not something that was in the game?
I'm playing the first one currently, and at no point yet has there been any heavy emphasis that incest is or cousin love has not been mentioned. You start, and the guy's like, we have to send you out there. We've never sent anybody out before. but unfortunately, our water chip is about to fail, and you got to go out there and figure it out because you're the only one. We can't do it. We're all retards. And so you go on this grand quest to all these fucking places and talk to people. I did it the right way. You go to the Ghoul City, you don't steal their shit, you fix their well, then you take the water chip so you get the good karma, blah, 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 and then you're able to go back. But they still send you out on another fucking quest, and guess what? When it's all done, buddy, you come back, you think you're gonna be welcomed with open arms, and the dude who owns the fucking vault says, "You know too much about real life, and you're a threat here, because if you tell people how good it is, they'll leave, and I can't have that, so you can't come back here and you're banished." That's Fallout 1. Fallout 2 does have New Vegas elements, but it's like, it's not about incest. I love that they got the ghoul, like that dude, he's the best part about that
Walton
show.
Goggins.
That's what...
Yeah,
yes,
shout out
Walton
Walton
Goggins is the shit. He was great in fucking Righteous Gemstones and
The Shield.
Justified. He's great, dude. I'm being honest. Like, it's not that I want to hate that show, but off the top, you think that I want to fucking hear about incest when it's about nukes. It's about Nuka-Cola. It's about rads. It's about fucking... That's what it's... I don't know. It's not about that bullshit. And
again,
that's only one that I'm pointing out so far.
Again, not playing the game, I have no context to that. But when it comes to anything like this, I hate when it's the message for the message's sake. As a viewer of the show who had no understanding of the backside lore, I did think the incest angle was like, oh yeah, that would happen in that scenario. If all these people are living in a vault underground and they keep procreating, they're eventually going to have to procreate with family. Like, so I didn't think that was completely out of bounds, and I didn't think they rammed it down your throat like they were trying to make incest a normal thing. I actually thought like they were doing the opposite of it.
They did a little bit. I mean, think about when they were doing the trade as she was going to become somebody's wife in the first episode. He's like, he wanted to hit it one more time, and she's like, "Oh, you."
Can I ask you a question? In real, and I'll tell you what. I this is just a question. This is like a Paul's internal thought question. In real life, are you against incest between two consenting adults?
Because Paul's for it.
If they're over 18 and they want, and a brother and sister want to fuck each other, not my thing. But if you want to do it, I don't care.
So,
like, I don't want to lock them in a box. I don't want to arrest them.
Create real life mutants. God damn it.
Yeah, we need the X-Men, I guess. Yeah, that's a good point, Paul. But
and I get that argument. If people who say that they do want to like jail people for incest, I get the argument of like
I don't want to jail them. It's not. Look, it's not throw them in the gulags and turn the gas on. Okay, I'm not advocating.
And I'm not saying you are. That's why I'm asking the question. Like it's a personal belief of yours that you're against. I agree with you. I'm not pro incest myself. But if you're over the age of 18 and you want to have sex with your sister or brother, Godspeed. As long as they're not children, I don't care.
I think that well, see, that's the thing. Incest does start in your childhood in those contexts.
Not all the time. You get what I'm saying. I'm still against fucking kids. But I mean, if a brother and sister who are of the age of 18 or older want to have sex, I don't care.
Oh, so let me see. Now we're getting into crazy territory. So when do you think that attraction starts, Paul?
That's not the question I'm posing. The question I'm posing is two legal consenting adults. If they're underage, I'm with
objectively. I don't have a horse in this race necessarily. Yeah. I'm just I'm playing devil's advocate almost because I want to explore your
to answer your question. To answer your question, if there's any sex in family under the age of 18 with somebody over the age of 18, that violates rule number 2 of my rules of life. Now, if a father is fucking his daughter, I want him in jail. I want him locked behind bars. I want him dead, but I know society would never agree with me on that. So I'll say I want him locked behind bars.
Just so the fucking retards know what you're clear on. Because like I said, I get it. But there's a lot of dumb fucks out here who are gonna think.
That's why I'm clearly stating of legal age, two consenting adults. If they're a brother and sister and they're of legal age, I don't care. If they're cousins, I don't care. Not my thing. I wouldn't do it.
All right. So this would be because I respect all that. This would be my angle, my little retort to that. Because you
all right, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back, brother. You, because at no point did I think that you were implying I was saying that. I fully like eyes open.
No, I get what you're asking. I get that.
I was more interested in where you were going with that.
Now, are you saying a brother and sister who are 12 years old and they have sex with each other? Is that what you're asking?
So let's see if, do you think that is, and maybe I don't even want to say do you think, because that's almost too personal, because I'm trying to get to a place of like a question that can be in a neutral place that doesn't imply that you're angling, because I don't think you are. It's like, how do you think they get to that point, and do you think it's a natural influence, and that
I don't care.
That being, I mean, say if you don't care, that means if it's being influenced in a way, that's bad.
If it's being forced against their will, then I care, because that's assault.
The way that like I can get on your side with this, because maybe that's an easier way to come at this. We'll talk about tribalism, maybe, right? These isolated tribes, some of them are cannibals or whatever. Mm-hmm. They absolutely participate in incest. They don't
have
see
for
anything
thousands
wrong
of
with
years.
it, and have for thousands of years. And all of the like crazy rumors and horrific stories you've heard about them aren't necessarily true. I even just read an article recently about cloning efficacy. And go ahead, I'll wait, but what were you going to say?
Just to be clear, regardless if you're religious or if you believe in the Big Bang Theory and evolution, we are all a product of incest if you go back far enough in the timeline. It's
if you want to believe in Adam and Eve and all that shit.
It's impossible, no matter how humans came into existence, and I'm not going to turn this into a religious or versus science debate. I don't care about that. Your beliefs are your beliefs. Stick with them. I'm happy with whatever you got.
Right.
But what I will say is, no matter what you believe, at some point, all of us are a product of incest.
Now, what if I told you this article I was looking at today? No bullshit. It's just funny how things work out. I told you this article throws that not necessarily into question, but it challenges it somewhat. Cloning efficacy and the success rate of cloning, because they like to tell us down the line, once we've kind of accepted things might be possible, that they've actually been around longer than they acknowledged beforehand. And cloning is one of those things where 20 years ago, if you brought up cloning, you were called a fucking idiot and told it was never possible. The same thing about, like, now we're talking about time travel and, like, spatial dissonance and all this shit. Well, if that's the case, cloning's been around. Okay, I'll accept that. They've been cloning one specific mouse for 58 generations. And at the 58th generation, and this isn't to say that the other 56 iterations before the original, right, number one, that they didn't eventually have, because this is what makes it interesting, kind of the point I'm drawn to. The genetics were breaking down the more you cloned the same thing, which we already knew about. We didn't need to experiment on fucking mice to do this, because even though we think we're smart, it's like a hubris thing, we already clone plants. And we know if we clone the same tomato plant or the same weed plant or the same broccoli plant, if you keep doing it too many times, eventually there's not enough left in the genetic memory for it to give you a stable crop. And there's no way to bring that back. The only way to do that is to actually let the plant sex. And if you wait too long for the plant to sex a normal plant the way they're supposed to go instead of cloning, there is a higher probability rate of failure for the cloning to succeed, meaning you won't get seeds, or what you get has unstable genetics, which a lot of people like to argue and disprove isn't real, blah, blah, blah. But it is. That's why you'll see weed strains that no matter what you do, people will say, oh, you just got to grow it the right way. No, it's always going to have seeds at week 5 because it's a weak cloned strain and they didn't get to it in time and they just... So that's the only thing I say, that when people you go too many times into things and things start to delete themselves, if you're not introducing new things into the mix, you'll have a problem. But we've managed to somehow separate far enough where even if we are going through, like, making another copy of ourselves the regular way through sex, by doing that, that's somehow restoring our genetic code, and eventually there is a point where, like, you break down on a genetic level. We haven't seen it with these tribes, though. You see it with plants and stuff. Because, again, plants and people...
So are you making
exactly
a pro-incest argument right now?
The point, I guess, that I'm trying to make is that when the incest has risks that you can't know or explore, but in our culture, because I talked about this on the episode with Leighton, Drew, and Broseph, we talked about there's not just one culture that's participated in some pretty sick acts, or, you know, one evil,
Great.
like, evil is what you perceive, and, like, good is what you represent, right?
Everybody's moral compass points in different directions.
Right, and so, like, the samurai were pedophiles, and it was actually a part of their doctrine that they were allowed to go into any house that they wanted, and if they saw... Go ahead.
I was going to say, and this is why I said I don't want to lock somebody in a box. And you were like, well, I don't want to lock them in a box either. The reason we have these conversations, and when I say we, I mean mankind, the reason we've had these conversations since the beginning of time is because we've realized we have to at some point collectively work together. And that means a government has to be formed. And the big thing, the only thing a government can do is take your money, kill you, or imprison you. Those are the only three things a government can actually do. So the conversation we're having is, anytime we have these arguments, is, are we okay as a society to fine you, to kill you, or to lock you in a box? That's all these conversations lead to. That's all they can lead to, because that's all we can do as a society of human beings. So when we're having a conversation about this stuff, morally, do I think incest is wrong? 100%. I think it's morally wrong. Do I want to lock my neighbor in a box for fucking their of-age sister? No, I don't. You get what I'm saying?
And in different times, different cultures didn't think it was wrong, and we think it's wrong now, which
and there have been cultures who killed people for it.
I'm not going to even sit here and say it is right. For me, I'm like you. I feel something in the pit of my stomach that, like, there's certain things that are wrong, and you can't, but... Yeah, like the samurai
what do we do?
Samurai could walk into a house, and if they saw a 5-year-old boy, they'd tell the husband and wife, "It's your lucky day. I'm taking your kid and making him a samurai." And if you said no, he would kill you, take the kid anyway, and then look this shit up if you want to ever be horrified.
I understand. And what happened after that? The men of that community, and no offense, women, I'm sorry, but when you don't have a modern society that men have built to give you the freedoms you enjoy on a day-to-day basis, you had these cultures where men who are the strongest of the species rule the roost. And those conversations were had back in those days and said, hey, you guys are seeing all these samurais fuck these boys, right? We all think that's wrong, right? We've all got to lock these samurais up in a box. And guess what? The samurai traditions went away.
That's right. The revolution happened. They got rid of all that fuck. They got sick and tired of seeing that shit that, oh, it's a great honor that I'm raping your son for years and grooming him, saying, oh, no, you're just a samurai and you're going to be a strong warrior one day. And it's all bullshit. It's just so you could be a pedophile and get to wear armor and walk around with a sword and scare anybody. And now we think that's cool because we watch anime or whatever.
The most modern day example of this is something we already discussed already that I know Doug will be passionate about, is the legalization of weed. This country, when we were kids, up until like the late 90s, marijuana was a horrible offense. Like, it was taboo if you smoked marijuana, and it was criminal.
Was bad.
We wanted to lock you in a box. As a society, if you used, consumed, sold, or had anything to do with marijuana, we wanted to lock you inside of a box. Now we're almost to the point where more than 50% of the country has legalized it on a recreational level, and we look at it the same as drinking. That's because our society evolved because we had these conversations and talked about it. And I know there's some states where incest is illegal. And what's crazy about that is I bet if we looked into the data, the states where incest is illegal is probably where incest happens the most. I'll bet my life on it.
I'm inclined to agree, and I don't know, I think it was Tim Pool a while back. I don't want to just like talk shit on him, but maybe I'll throw an allegedly out there. But I think he was one of the guys who was advocating like, oh well, if the age is 16 in a state, that's legal. And it's like, dude, tell yourself whatever you want. There's people in other countries fucking 13-year-olds, and it's like you're trying to justify 16 in this country on a public platform.
What are your thoughts on the age of consent? Do you believe hardline at 18? Do you believe 17? Do you believe in Romeo and Juliet laws? Like, where do you stand?
I'll give you my righteous take on it. My little Patrice, bullshit. I think for me, I can't get turned on by a woman who doesn't have some experience. I don't care if you're 14 with some big tits and a hairy bush and a fat. It doesn't do anything for me because you still are like, you're playing with dolls and you need to be left alone to do that. That's why I'm like, there's the influence part of me. I don't see regular kids unless they're hypersexualized or they have some type of, syndrome that makes them feel that more than other people. I don't really see kids go through those crazy, like everybody masturbates, but I don't see kids have that crazy fucking like, oh, I need to do this at 7. I think they're playing with Legos and drawing and like, the only thing that can corrupt that is now you're seeing more the iPhones and kids at 7 years old, they're on YouTube with no parental shit because the parents, they are deluding themselves into thinking, oh, there's nothing bad that can happen. I've done this and that and the other. Everything is protected. I'm in control. We have this idea of control and like, not to harp on your point, but I think to overemphasize it, we're talking about boxes within boxes the same way we talk about hat on a hat. Just because you're not in a jail cell doesn't mean that when you're in the outside world, you're not in a version of a maze or a jail cell or however you want to call it, a box, whatever synonym fits properly. You're in a version of that. That's why when I hear people talk about the simulation, yeah, this is kind of a simulation because people are playing a version of reality like Monopoly. And, as long as you're willing to cooperate in the maze and go for the cheese, you'll always get that result you expect. But if you look up at the people who are watching you in the maze and you try to jump out of the maze and run away, they're going to grab you and they're going to say, oh, this rat's defective, and we got 1,000 other rats to put in this maze. Let's throw this fucking rat out, and because something's wrong with it. It shouldn't be aware. It should just focus on getting the cheese like a good rat. So,
Doug,
yeah.
And that's the story of the puppy who lost his way.
Everybody in this room is now that much humor.
I'm not going to lie, Hindian. I understood all the words that you said. It was the order in which you said them where I'm confused. So my question was, what is your stance on the age of consent? Like, where do you think the line should be? Are you a hard line at 18? Are you 17? Like, what do you think?
I kind of want to raise it.
From 18?
Yeah, and I know that puts me in, like, the Nick Fuentes category, but maybe this is too old school of me. I'm too, it's an antiquated idea. But, my mom kind of made me feel bad that I spoiled myself drinking before 21 because she was like, no, it was like a big honor to wait and finally have my first drink. I was proud, like I had reached a milestone. And sex should kind of return to being a milestone. I don't like that. You shouldn't want to tell kids at 16 that it's okay to fuck because that changes your life if things go wrong.
I agree with that statement.
But I do also think, I'm going to say this though, if you're gonna fuck, you have to do it your age group. Don't be fucking these old dudes with this old pussy and have AIDS and herpes keep getting passed down to these young kids because that's fucked up to me.
I'm gonna put my foot down. What is the age you want the age of consent to be?
Maybe
Give
23.
Me the number.
I think 23.
Wow, that is insane to me. But okay,
I know.
It's 23. It's 20. But for the record, I would never have sex with somebody under the age of 24 personally. And the majority of women I date are older than me. The majority of women I date.
So you get it. There's something about like that age. They're mature at a certain level where you're like, we're not taking advantage of you. It's good.
Yes, we're in agreement there. Here's my question to you now. Now that we said, okay, as a society, I agree with you. We create the law. The law says you have to be 23 to consent to sexual relations. What do we do with the two 17-year-olds in high school who have sex? What do we do to them now? As a society, we've said what they did is wrong.
You don't
put
them in prison.
Then what do we do?
Is it a case-by-case thing, or do you have to have a
Well, so now we're
broad stroke?
nuancing it. Now it's not 23.
Well,
now
I think it's
23
important to
unless we
have,
think you're better.
I think it's important to have nuance if there's situations where it's maybe rape. If you're talking about two consenting things,
we're not talking rape. We're not talking rape. We're not talking rape. If I right now, currently, if I'm 19 years old and I'm in a state where 18 is the legal age of consent, and I have sex with somebody who's 17 years, 11 months, and 29 days old, I get locked in a box because I violated age of consent.
Yeah,
That's
send him to the
statutory rape.
gallows.
That's statutory rape.
Send him to
Okay?
the gallows.
What do we do when two 17-year-olds have sex? Two people who we've said as a society cannot consent to it. What do we do with them now? Because we created the law. There has to be a penalty if you violate the law. What do we do?
There does have to be a penalty. I mean, what happens when people they smoke weed or other offenses? There's like a probation.
They get fined. The government can fine you. They can jail you, or they can kill you. Those are the only three things the government can do.
Well, probation is a long form of fining.
Yeah, they're restricting liberty. Here, I won't say put you in a box. They restrict your liberty. They can fine you, restrict your liberty, or they can kill you. That's all a government can do to you.
And I think at certain times, even though the government has too much overreach, certain things are necessary to be deterrent so that you don't make a worse decision down the road. So yeah, I think like a probation for somebody who is allowed to make that mistake, because then what do you do? Go after the parents and put them in prison? Like, it's a very layered thing. That's why I don't have a simple answer for it.
Let me answer my question. Let me answer my own question for you. The question I just got done asking you, let me answer it for you. I would say the only laws we need are Paul's 2 rules of life. If you're over the age of 18, do whatever the fuck you want as long as you're not physically harming somebody else. Rule number 2, kids are off limits, no exception. And we are going to define kids as below under the age of 18. That would be how the king of the world, Paul, would deal with everything. If you violate any of those rules, we will fine you, lock you in a box, or kill you.
I mean, what do you do with a 14-year-old that steals from a store?
You arrest them, process them through the justice system, and you put them in juvenile detention. We lock them in a box. That's what we do. We lock them in a box. So you want to lock up 2 17-year-olds for consenting sex?
No, I said probation, but I'm glad we did find a middle ground there, that you're like, yeah, we do things to kids at times if they make mistakes that they shouldn't make at adults, and the reason we have like a layered approach to it, because if we gave them the real harsh reality penalties that we give adults, that would fuck their entire life over. That's more of like a chance for you to learn the lesson and say, well, yeah, it was kind of stupid. I put myself in this situation.
But yeah,
and
we want everybody who we punish with punitive action to rehabilitate their lives so they can become productive members of society. But the only way we can do that is by locking them, by restricting their liberty, fining them, or just killing them.
And I'm obviously not going to tell you we need to kill any kids, you know.
Correct. That's correct. That's why I'm saying I think 18 is the right age. I think we can have the argument back and forth.
I respect your number because you respected mine. I appreciate that you actually saw
on a
where I was
personal
coming
level,
from. So like,
what I'm saying is on a
okay.
personal level. Like, me personally would never date somebody under the age of 24. I wouldn't do it. And granted, if 5 years from now I start dating a 23-year-old, I know this will come back to bite me in the ass, but I don't think that'll ever happen. Now,
do you think there is some benefit to waiting? Not that I want to, I don't want to cut you off, but just because that's something I was interested in asking. Do you think
you're saying
that
on a personal level?
Yeah,
of course.
Okay.
Mentally, I think it's mentally better to wait.
Okay.
But with that said, I'm also in the same token, when there's a story like, oh my God, Elon Musk got a child pregnant, and you're like, what? Elon Musk fucked a kid? Yeah, he got a 19-year-old girl pregnant. I'm like, oh no, he didn't. No, he didn't. You're making the balls big. If you're 18 years old, you can go to war. If we say you can go to war, you should be able to drink, you should be able to smoke, you should be able to have sex, you should be able to do what any consenting adult wants to do. And I hate that in this country, we've turned adults into children. We say you can't rent a car till you're 25. You can't drink alcohol till you're 21. Do you know tobacco? Tobacco is now 21.
That I kind of like, though. I know that makes me maybe a good goy, but I'm just saying I like that the kids.
Have you ever been in the military?
Gotta wait a little longer.
I'm gonna guess you're not a veteran.
I have a respect for the military, but no, I chickened out. Okay. I didn't go. My family did.
You know the only thing to do on a military base when you're 18 years old? It's to smoke cigarettes and hang out with your friends and smoke cigarettes. That's the only thing to do. That's it. And now we're saying that, hey, these people we sent to a foreign land to die for our freedoms, you guys can't smoke cigarettes with your buddies. It's against our laws now. That's insane to me. We have turned adults into children.
No, some of it is overreach. When they banned smoking in restaurants, I was happy. But I don't want people to be told that they can't even smoke.
Oh man, me and you have a strong disagreement on this. I think it should be left up to the protecting business owner. Doug's gonna want to go now.
Look, I
you guys realize that none of this matters. We're all gonna die one day, right?
100%. That's why it's so much fun to fucking talk about. I'm having the time of my life right now.
I do have to go soon though.
I mean, we can wrap it up if you need.
I do have to go soon. I would like to make some money today.
No, but
you don't believe in money.
I appreciate you guys coming on, really.
I'm glad to be here, dude. Man. Happy to have you.
Yeah.
And if you ever want to come on Sibling Revelry sometime, I would love to book you for the show. I just never, I like booking people, but like I never know who like in the chat would ever want to come on. I've had people who are like, I like the show, but like I don't want to come on the show. But like, I'd love to have you on.
I prefer getting asked on. Yeah, like I don't like to just bully my way on to shit. So I appreciate you asking because anytime you need to fill a spot,
I'll book you.
Yeah, I can come in.
And you don't have to.
A good hang.
I don't book and have nothing to do with booking, so I have no pull.
And
I know you've made that clear. You're like, I'm so glad that I don't have to do that shit.
I don't like doing it for killing time with Paul, and I hate doing it for killing time.
It's really hard to reach out to somebody and ask them a question. I
You're not wrong. I'm trying to get my courage up, and it was a little nerve-wracking, even with you guys, because I know you're chill, but again, it's a lot to ask somebody to donate some time, and yeah, we did kind of run over the hour.
I tell you, I was happy to be asked to come on here. One, I do, excuse me. God damn it.
Yeah, don't die on me.
No, it's I haven't vaped in a while, and it's starting to catch up to me now. I enjoy when you pop up in the chat, but I also like, I hate to sound like one of those guys, but like there are times where like we've been doing our show for as long as we've been doing it, and like, we have crossover friends and shit like that. And I'm like, when are you gonna? I really don't want to sound like that guy, but I'm like, when are you gonna invite us to be on your show? God damn it! So it's nice to be invited to be on somebody else's show. This is a nice little turn,
Yeah, I hope other people do too, because I don't think I'm Mr. Big Shot, but if this is a gateway for people to check out content and see people that they already fuck with in a different light, just weird conversations, I think you guys put on a really good episode, especially this last bit. Like Paul, we had a good combo, man, and dude, and you too. I'm not like saying we didn't.
I wasn't.
That last little bit, I like conversations like that, and it's nice when you can have, just. I don't even want to call it a debate. It was like a friendly conversation.
I think that's part of the magic of our show is me and Doug, though we do have similarities with a lot of stuff, we're also very different, and we're also passionate about completely different things.
Yeah, I know where Paul stands on a lot of that stuff, so that's why I just kick back and let you guys have your conversation. It happens a lot on our show. It's like, I've got nothing to add to it. Like, people are like, Doug, what are your takes? It's like, I don't know, I'm going to be dead one day. I like reading comic books and playing video games. As you guys were talking about it, I was scrolling through Twitter, and it's just nonstop. Right now, it's nonstop no Kings protests, photos and videos of what's going on today. And in my mind, I'm like, just live your life. None of it matters in the end.
The problem is if society around you says the way you live your life, you need to be locked in a box for. It's a big deal. What happens if society went, you know what? If you play video games, we need to lock you in a box. Playing video games are illegal, and we're going to lock you in a box.
I hope they lock me in a box.
You'd give a shit.
Paul.
Question.
I want to get locked in a box with you.
Go ahead, Doug.
If I get locked in a box for that, will I still be able to play video games in the box?
No, there's no video.
Okay, well then I'm against that, obviously, but I'm not going to go out and hold a sign in front of the post.
But you have to have that conversation with your fellow members of society to make sure that they never say, you know what happened in 1930? In 1930, this guy got in charge of Germany, and he's like, you know what we should do? We should probably kill all those Jews. And none of the Jews stood up and said, I think that's a terrible idea. I don't think you should do that. And all the rest of the people who did listen to him went, you know what? Killing Jews sounds like a pretty good goddamn idea. Let's start doing that. And then they allegedly killed 6 million of the Jews. And it turns out the rest of societies of the world were not that down with killing that many Jews.
I bet you in our current time, though, I bet you a lot of people are looking back on those times fondly right now.
What I'm saying is these conversations have to happen to ensure. And for me, it's real easy, Indian. Like I can see where we disagree a lot. I'm always error on the side of liberty.
I don't
always
think
err
we
on the side of
disagree
freedom.
either. Like I know what you.
No,
you
I don't want to lock
up.
up. I don't want to lock. I don't want to make the age of consent 24. I don't want that.
Yeah,
23.
I mean, I wasn't going to weigh in because
No,
it really doesn't matter to me ultimately because I don't have sex. I don't even
think
have
that's
sex
insane.
with myself, but that is a little crazy. I think I don't know. Like, here's the reality: you could go ahead and put an age of consent on anything. Kids are still going to fuck at early ages. That's just the way life is.
And that's
it was
my
like
point.
That when I was
What
a
do we
kid.
do with them? We've, as a society, said it's against the law. What do we do with them now?
I would never tell anybody how to raise their kids, but I think my overarching point more so is that there's a lot of ways that you can look at shit, and I respect all of that. I would never want to come down on anybody for shit, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of nuance and context to
Agreed.
shit. So I can't we had and that's
And,
what I meant by
nuance can't exist in a government, is what I'm
But
saying.
that's what I meant by I didn't even see it as us disagreeing because you and I, as we talked, found points we agreed
We found common ground on personal level.
which doesn't have to change anything, but in a way that is kind of an approval of you're not changing my mind, but I do kind of see some points in what you're saying that I agree with. And that's good enough for me because I don't need I don't need it to change to 23, but in a world where I'd want to see how that would go as a test, because everybody's been able to test different versions of how they want society to be. That would
Correct.
be my test, is to roll the dice and see
And
change
during the
some
testing
things
period,
and then
you have to
go
decide
through
what you're
that.
going to do with those people when they violate the law you created.
I think what
I
we
agree
need to
with
bring
you.
back as a society is parents being able to spank or beat their kids, not deadly, but within a range of discipline. Now that over the last 15, 20 years, the whole child protective services, which I get, it's a value thing because there are parents out there who are pieces of shit who do legitimately abuse their kids. But the kind of abuse I'm talking about, Paul and I experienced when we fucked up. Our dad, we made sure
Yeah, we
we
got our
didn't
ass
fuck up
whooped.
again. We got our asses whooped. And I think
I
Lewis
never got
would
an ass
cut you
whooping I
down
didn't
right
deserve.
now, but I
Yeah.
don't disagree with you. But Lewis was just ripping somebody up on X for that, saying oh,
Yeah.
you're in control when you're beating your kids.
Yeah, but
That's
Lewis-
psycho, man.
Lewis doesn't have a frame of Lewis doesn't have an intelligent frame.
He has Apple.
He doesn't have an intelligent frame of reference for this because his parents were a fucking guy that got knifed to death when he was a kid and a mother who was a heroin addict. I'm talking about if you come from a
This is fair.
two-parent home, a loving two-parent home, discipline, it doesn't always mask itself as abuse. It sometimes discipline is done with love.
And Doug, I agree to your point, but this is where we as men in society have to have the conversation. We got to say, where is the line? Where is the line between discipline and it being assault? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Spanking.
You know what? I'll ask you that in the humor of what you just said. Is there a median that we meet at between 18 and 23? Do you ever come up from 18?
No.
Or is it hard 18?
No. And as a matter of fact, if I would probably
Fair.
say,
That's
I
fair.
probably, when it came to the age of consent for sexual relations, I agree with a lot of Romeo and Juliet laws. If you're 18 and you had sex with your girlfriend who's 17, 11 months and 29 days, it's okay.
Mine is based off of, are you House Montague or House Capulet?
That's what I'm saying. That's what Romeo and Juliet laws are. They're saying, okay, we recognize that 18 is the age of consent, but these two have been dating since they were 15 and 16, and now he just happens to be over the age. He's allowed to be with a 17-year-old.
And where I stand,
That's a nuance. That's a nuanced take.
It is.
And if you want nuance,
See,
there's
that is
states
where
have
we
it.
agree. That's not on the age of consent, but we do agree that even in those situations where even at 18, people under 18 are breaking laws, doing things, how do we handle that? And we have ways to we don't hurt them and lock them away forever, but
we
give them a
have to
little bit
have
of
the
punishment.
majority agree on it. We have to have the
Yeah.
majority of our society agree on it, and we
Yeah.
have to have those conversations. I love nuance. I agree with you that there should be nuance in the law. The problem is government doesn't operate on nuance, and if it tries to, it usually costs the taxpayers a fortune to operate on nuance.
This is true as well.
I stand in the middle. I'm Mercutio. I have pox on both your houses.
Well, that's why I like keeping life simple. Just don't physically harm anybody else. Don't fuck children. If we can do that as a society, I won't want to lock you in a box. But the second you put your hands on somebody in the act of violence, I want you locked in a box.
Yeah. Good rules to live by, man. you guys, do you have anything to plug? Because I definitely don't now. Like, we're getting close to 2 hours.
Sibling Revelry every Saturday night. Doug, are we doing every Saturday or every other Saturday when we come
Right
back?
now, we've got it every Saturday because I've got about a month and a half, 2 months worth of people booked. But then we'll go to every other Saturday.
So we do that every other Saturday on Rumble on the channel Sibling Revelry. I have Killing Time with Paul that runs on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It used to be all 3 episodes were on Rumble and X. Now the Monday and Wednesday show are going to temporarily move to Discord, and we're just going to do a Discord stream for Monday and Wednesday show, and then Friday is going to be Dealer's Choice Night where we either have a guest or play games. That's Killing Time with Paul over on Rumble.
Yeah, Sibling Revelry, Saturday night, 7 p.m. We'll be back next week with Johnny the Wop as our guest. I do occasionally, I don't do streams like Paul does where I'm on a schedule. I do them whenever I feel like doing them, but I do a show called The Dugout where I kind of do watch-alongs, movie watch-alongs or show watch-alongs. And this week, April 1st and 2nd, the first Wednesday, I'm doing Jason Zod from the Trash Podcast is going to sit down with me. We're going to watch Man of Steel. We've been talking about it for 2 years, and we finally have time. We're going to, because we're both Superman nuts, so we're going to watch Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. And Thursday, on my birthday, Kenny the Strangle Chef and I are going to watch the original G.I. Joe, the animated 1987 G.I. Joe movie. And I don't remember what time it is, but it'll be up on Twitter. I'll post it and promote it.
And just to interject real quick, the show's called Dugout, but it's not on the Dugout channel. It's on
Rumble and it's on X. I stream it to Rumble and X.
Yeah, but what's the channel name on Rumble?
Right.
It's not Dugout.
The channel name on Rumble is Dumb, Ugly, Uncreative, all one word.
Oh, I'm not following that one. I need to get on that one.
No, you're good. I don't even pay attention to it half the time. See, that's the thing. It's like
that's why I wanted to interrupt, because I'm like, if people want to actually go and watch this, they gotta know where to go.
Well, when I promote on Twitter, I put the links and all that shit in the tweets. But like, yeah, I don't. When we started,
that hides everything though. I don't see 90% of your guys' shit unless I go to your actual page.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter what I do. So
fair enough. I don't think about that. See, like in the beginning when we started doing Sibling Revelry, I paid attention to like view counts and how many people are subscribing, and then it just got to a point where it's like, whoever shows up shows up. Like I don't even think about it. I'm terrible at promoting myself, other than just like, yeah, come and check. But I wouldn't have ever, until Paul said it, I would have never thought to like give the channel name. So,
well, people are gonna search Dugout and they're not gonna find any.
That's fair. That's fair. It'll also be on Twitter though. I do stream simultaneously to Twitter as well as my Rumble. So if you don't catch it there, you can catch it.
What's your Twitter at?
It's on the screen at Douglas. Oh wait, we're not doing video. Sorry.
This is an audio podcast, dummy.
I had 2 White Claws in the process of the show. At Douglas is a dope.
And I'm at Paul B _485. Right? Is that right?
Paul _B 485. I believe so. Yeah, I think you're right. And then of course,
these two will follow if you already know.
thank you. I appreciate that. I feel the same way about you, man. I had a lot of fun here today. Thank you for inviting us, man.
I'm mid, but I'm getting up there. If I have a little bit more of this, I think I'll find a spot. I'm really honored you guys to take the time. I don't care how dick sucky that sounds. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out.
You have to believe in yourself.
I'm looking forward to coming out. Like I said, I know you guys are booked for a while, but
I'll get you booked. I'll reach out to you tomorrow. I'll DM you tomorrow and I'll get you. Find a date and get you put on there for sure.
Fuck yeah, man. All right, motherfuckers. We'll see you next week. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and adios.
Fuck yeah.
You unlock us now?